Hi everyone, Joseph-Alexandre, your relational support counselor here today to tell you a story about my early 20s, a moment that pushed me towards self-protection and rebuilding my life on my own terms. So when I was first kicked out at the age of 22, I was couch surfing to finish my bachelor's degree, working a part-time job. I finally found a sublet where I was slowly starting to stabilize and get back on my feet. And one day, my phone rang. It was Abouna, the priest from my Coptic community. And to my shock, he was crying, begging, "Please, where are you? I need to see you." So my parents had clearly sent him to try to find me, to find out where my address was because no one knew. But for once, something protective switched on. My executive functioning skills finally downloaded. I refused to give him my address, and I gave him a name of a street corner, not too far instead. He picked me up and he brought me to a very questionable Dunkin' Donuts. And sitting down right there in the middle of the coffee shop, he brought out his clunky IBM laptop and began a PowerPoint about how to be a good servant of God. So I waited for the real reason he had come, and when he finished, I asked, "Okay, so now, are you ready to talk about what you're here for?" And he couldn't even say it. He couldn't name the truth, so I said it for him. "It's because I'm gay, and that's why you're here." He immediately started quoting Bible verses. But I grew up in the church, and I grew up in servant school, and I had a minor in religion, so I quoted right back, including Colossians 3:21, "Fathers, do not embitter your children, or they will become discouraged." He went silent, and in that silence, I knew he only wanted one thing. He wanted my address, so he offered to drive me home, and I refused. I asked him to drop me off at the same corner. And that's when he pulled out a little birthday gift bag with not one but two copies of the Old Testament, no, the New Testament, and a candle of the Virgin Mary. And he looked at me and said in his broken English, "And remember, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve." That's the part that always makes me laugh, because this man who barely spoke English was quoting a slogan from an American anti-gay protest sign, and it felt like so surreal. That's when it hit me. He had no power over me. He had no argument, no fear left to use against me. And I gave him back the bag and I said, "No thanks, and please never speak to me again." And honestly, looking back, that was my first breakup. So why am I sharing this? Because that moment was the first time I truly stood up for myself. I walked away from fear, from manipulation, from a version of faith that was never about compassion. I realized I wasn't afraid of hell or judgment anymore because my family had already put me through both. I had nothing else to lose except for myself. And so I started to rebuild. And today I believe no creator would judge anyone for being who they are. And as I once told my parents and Abouna, why would anyone choose to be gay in Coptic? I just am. But my otherness was too much for them. So in their eyes, I became Steve. And so here's what I want to tell you today. Be Steve. Be you. Do not let anyone weaponize faith or culture against your existence. And if you're going no contact to keep yourself safe, do not let any pressure, anyone let you give any information that you're not ready to share. It was painful. It was messy, but it was worth it. And if this resonates with you, I am here. You are not alone.